President Rodrigo Duterte on Wednesday signed Executive Order No. 10, creating a consultative body tasked to review the 1987 Constitution. EO10 creates a 25-member committee to be composed of presidential appointees. The committee will, quote, study, conduct consultations, and review the provisions of the 1987 Constitution, including but not limited to the provisions on the structure and powers of the government, local governance, and economic policies. Members of the committee must be natural-born citizens who are residing in the Philippines, must be at least 25 years of age, a qualified voter, and someone of recognized probity, independence, nationalism, patriotism, and expertise in his field. The committee has to complete its work in 6 months and present its recommendations to Duterte, who will then submit them to Congress. The recommendations of the committee are expected to help Congress when it deliberates on constitutional amendments. Vice President Leni Robredo on Friday, December 9, insists she has no plans of becoming president. Robredo says, quote, I have no interest of becoming president. I just want this administration to succeed, but it is also important for them to listen to dissenting voices. She's responding directly to Senator Alan Cayetano's statement on Friday that Robredo should stop, quote, thinking of the presidency and instead help in the government's programs. After resigning from the cabinet, Robredo says she intends to lead the opposition if this entails expressing her views on national policies he does not agree with.
Sa akin, ang hino-hope kong ma-achieve is to unify all these voices para isang boses lang yung maparating natin sa ating Pangulo para pakinggan tayo.
She adds expressing her opposition doesn't necessarily mean she is impeding the success of government. Robredo says, quote, for this administration, it is also important to listen to dissenting voices. Dissenting doesn't mean we want to be president. President Duterte has the mandate of the Filipinos. I think it is our obligation to support him, but we will be encouraged to support him if we feel our opposition on some issues is heard. Tourism Department officials want President Rodrigo Duterte to be one of the judges at the Miss Universe pageant in the Philippines in January. Tourism Undersecretary Kat De Castro says, quote, apparently, it is a rule for the Miss Universe organization not to have a judge from the host country, but I think if it's the president, I think they will make an exception to the rule. De Castro says the Miss Universe organization will likely welcome Duterte's participation in the event. She adds, quote, I think his men are aware that we would like him to be part of, to judge it, or just even watch it, but he has not yet given us a concrete answer altogether. American astronaut Buzz Aldrin is discharged from a New Zealand hospital Friday, December 9, a week after he was evacuated from the South Pole after a health scare. Aldrin, 86, the second man to walk on the moon, became the oldest person to reach the South Pole, before he was evacuated to a hospital in New Zealand. Earlier Friday, Aldrin paid tribute to former astronaut John Glenn, who died in Ohio aged 95. Aldrin says, quote, I feel fortunate to be recovering from my own illness, but saddened that we lost another space pioneer and world icon. South Korean lawmakers on Friday, December 9 passed an impeachment motion against President Park Geun-Hye over a corruption scandal that paralyzed her administration and triggered massive street protests. The motion was adopted by 234 votes to 56. The National Assembly ballot transfers Park's authority to the Prime Minister, pending a decision by the Constitutional Court on whether to ratify the decision and permanently remove the President from office. A ruling can take up to 6 months, during which time Park will remain in the presidential Blue House. The impeachment motion accused Park of constitutional and criminal violations, ranging from a failure to protect people's lives to bribery and abuse of power. Park's longtime confidant Choi Soon-sil was earlier charged with meddling in state affairs and using her friendship with Park to force dozens of companies to donate millions of dollars to her non-government foundations.